Sí.
Go, Fabio. Vamos, vamos.
Sí.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a Alex Value Head Finance. Welcome back to Alex Value Head Finance. I'm Alex, your host. Today I have a special guest that you all know from our lives, Fabio from CAPITALMINDSET. Hola, Fabio.
Hola, bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos. So we're going to do an interview, but it's going to be different. It's going to be one Spanish and one English question.
Okay.
So,
Vamos.
¿listo?
Sí.
Venga. Fabio,
Okay.
¿Quién eres? Cuéntanos.
Bueno, yo soy... voy a empezar con, no sé, mis estudios. Yo estudié contabilidad y financia y, nací en Valencia, Venezuela, para que sepan. Eso yo creo que es un poco importante. Vine a los Estados Unidos cuando tuve como 4 años porque a mi familia nos secuestraron con toda la violencia que pasa en Venezuela. Y entonces mi familia no sé, se asustaron con todo eso. Y eso era antes que se puso peor en Venezuela. Eso fue cuando todavía Chávez acaba de entrar al poder. Los cambios que él estaba poniendo en el país todavía estaban como nuevos. Y nada yo no estaba ahí cuando toda la comida no estaba o no había papel toalé. Yo no estaba ahí cuando eso pasó. Pero muchos miembros de mi familia todavía estaban ahí. Pero para que sepa, yo nunca tuve esas como experiencias, gracias a Dios. Y vine aquí a los Estados Unidos, si no lo oyen en mi voz, tengo un acento. Y vine aquí a los Estados Unidos cuando tuve como 4 o 5 años. Yo creo que acabo de cumplir 4 años. Y bueno, aquí estudié. Mi madre, ella era americana, entonces no tuvimos problemas, gracias a Dios. Y de ahí, no sé, estudié en las escuelas aquí, me emocioné con los mercados. Y cuando estaba estudiando en la universidad, me encontré con una empresa que me dio un chance grandísimo y aprendí mucho con ellos. Todavía estoy con ellos y de ahí estoy aquí invirtiendo, trabajando con ellos y voy a hacer un cambio de trabajo, pero todavía no lo hablé. Si quieres, podemos hablar de eso en esta entrevista, porque va a afectar en qué yo puedo hablar, pero va a ser una oportunidad para aprender más.
Muy bien, me encantó. Hablas muy bien español, Fabio, ¿no? Casi no se te, no hay como, tienes algunas palabras que tal vez sí, a mí me pasa a
Sí,
mí en
claro.
inglés, que yo estoy pensando a veces en español y luego no encuentro la palabra exacta y pues ya
Sí,
sabes,
sí,
¿no?
eso me pasa
Tienes que,
mucho.
sí pasa. Okay, we switch back to English. So, what is your passion? What is it that you like to do that you don't consider work, but you still get a profit from? And this is related to another question I'm going to ask you about the Wall Street Insider. We'll get to that. But first,
Oh,
tell me about.
yes. So, well, it's going to sound pretty cliche, but I have a huge passion I've had since about high school, a huge passion for the markets, for investing, but mainly what I learned, it is for actually learning new things. Like I love to grab a new industry, new company, new anything, and just try to learn about it. I love the feeling of, I don't know anything at all. And then I just research, and then I find out, okay, that's how that kind of works. That's how that kind of works. And I have no shame in saying I don't know something. I love to talk to other people that know a lot about that particular topic. I like to break down, ask them questions. And it's going to sound pretty bad, but like my wife can talk about it. I try to listen more to music now than before, but I used to like not listen to any music. I just listen to interviews, like economics interviews. It's really bad. Like I'll be in the car.
Yeah, it happens.
Because I feel like, our lives are so short and there's not enough time to just learn. But I think regarding my passion or like what I do for fun, that I can still produce an income. I love to teach. I had my first business I ever started was a tutoring business throughout my college. And it started with one client, then it just expanded to other clients through, recommendations. And I think I can say what helped me there was, I think I am a very patient person. I can explain something to someone in a million ways. And if they still don't get it, I'll explain 1,000,001 ways, so I don't have, like, if you see me and my brother, we're very different in that. He's much smarter than me. He's a mathematician.
Wow.
Yeah, if he were to try to explain something to you, he might call you a monkey for not understanding calculus 3.
Then I'm a monkey.
So, but yeah, that's one thing. And with tutoring, I actually got to meet a lot of people. It was actually when I look back now, when I was 18 starting tutoring, it was a really good way for me to network, because I'm not only did I teach these kids, but their parents got to know me very well too. And it actually opened up a lot of different opportunities when I was younger. So.
Awesome, thank you. Vamos a español.
Vamos.
He visto mucho tus videos, eres una mente brillante. Ahorita que me dices de tu hermano, que es más inteligente, bueno, me cuesta trabajo, porque eres bastante inteligente y sagaz. Sin embargo, ¿has considerado alguna vez tú hacer videos en español? Tal vez a mí me preocupa, si te soy sincero, la falta de educación financiera que tenemos en Latinoamérica, en México,
Sí.
en todos los países, ¿no? Entonces yo creo que sí es importante que una voz tan autorizada como tú, porque pues tú vives en Estados Unidos y además tienes el background que eres latino, tal vez pudiera relacionarse más la comunidad latina en Estados Unidos y en Canadá contigo, porque ya ves que muchos de nuestra gente que se va, desgraciadamente, vive en comunidades aisladas y siguen hablando español. Y luego ya sus hijos ya aprenden inglés y demás, y luego se va perdiendo, ¿no? Entonces, como tú hablas los dos muy bien, ¿has pensado en hacer un proyecto bilingüe o básicamente está fuera de tus planes?
Sí, no, bueno, yo lo pensé porque mis primos me están diciendo eso, porque todos mis primos, ellos vivieron en Venezuela por toda la vida. Entonces, su idioma preferida es español.
Sí.
Y yo les explico a veces cuando les veo, tú sabes, cosas de financia, contabilidad, cuando yo puedo. A veces algunos de ellos son muy jóvenes y no les importa mucho. Y igualmente como mis tíos y mis tías ya son como más viejos y no quieren pensar nada de eso, ya están en un parte de la vida que ya terminaron con eso. Sí. Y bueno, yo lo pensé pero es una cuestión de tiempo en todo eso, porque igualmente cuando yo tengo trabajo y igual hago este YouTube como de lado y es como un proyecto de pasión. Yo puedo intentar hacerlo, pero me preocupa si yo empiezo a hacerlo, que no voy a tener tiempo para nada y no me gusta empezar cosas que no puedo cumplir.
Okay.
Entonces, bueno, todavía lo estoy pensando porque claro, tú lo dijiste perfecto. La comunidad de español en todos los países, hay no sé cómo decirlo, un vacuum de información, ¿no? Sí, sí, exacto. Y no sé, yo creo que hay oportunidad para que alguien, no sé si tú lo vas a hacer, tú puedes ser que tú lo haces.
Yo lo estoy haciendo
Exacto.
Pero hay gente que no le gusta como que le gustaría separar.
Sí,
Y
como
yo les
dos.
digo, ahorita realmente lo que quiero es esto, así como ver hasta 1000 suscriptores ya, sepa. Pero creo que
Puede
es un
ser.
buen proyecto.
Sí, no, yo lo estaba pensando así también, porque yo creo que la gente van a creer en la separación, porque la gente que habla solo inglés no quiere ver
Sí.
videos en español. Y yo creo que igualmente por el otro lado, si alguien solamente habla español, si quieren consumir tu content, van a tratar de entenderlo, pero no va a ser como algo
Sí,
ideal para
ideal.
ellos.
Sí, tal vez sí lo separen. Pero bueno, sería bueno que lo supieras, ¿no? No estoy.
Claro.
Quería saber también tu parte. Okay, switch back to English. When
That's
you
good.
analyze stocks, do you use the top-down approach or the down-up approach, or you mix it up? Do you have any specific system that you like?
Wow. Yeah, I mix it up a lot. I say one of the big themes of the channel, Capital Mindset, is every single stock, every single company, every single industry, it's nuanced. Investing is very nuanced. So depending on what it is we talk about, you throw me a company, I'm going to treat it differently depending on what it is, depending on what industry it is, who are their customers, etc. Because some things are more important than others. So that makes it difficult sometimes when we have a strategy. Buffett talks about this. Everyone quotes Buffett, but people don't sometimes think about what he's really trying to tell you. He avoids certain kinds of companies because his methods apply to those companies, and he's a master at his methods. So the way he understands businesses, he sticks to those businesses that apply to that, which is what he's trying to say in that is all these businesses, they're very different. If we look at a bank, it's going to be so different than if we look at Procter & Gamble as to what is it that is important for that bank. In the live stream, for example, I said that for banks, I think it's very important that if they're a primary dealer, right? And banks, by the way, are very complicated. First of all, before we even talk about banks, I think I just picked out one of the, if not the most complicated type of business to fully understand. And then some businesses are a lot easier to understand than others. I think, for example, consumer staples, like, we have Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark, all those companies, very easy to kind of, for the average person to wrap their heads around those. They have brands that you buy the toilet paper, you buy, I don't know, whatever they sell, all their brands that they sell, you see other people buy them, and they are something you see every day, you use every day, right? And then you can experience that. But I think that answers maybe your question. It depends.
Yeah, it depends on the company and the sector. Okay, I get it.
Yes.
And I'm going to keep speaking in English because this is going to be a bit complicated.
Follow up.
So do you watch the video from this guy, the Wall Street Insider? And he talks about, he says that all of us, we're grifters and et cetera, et cetera. But he doesn't really know you because you always said that you were basically, you buy stocks, you also have ETFs for your main, your portfolio is mainly stocks and some ETFs, and he doesn't know that. So he thinks that you're a grifter because you're not sticking to our philosophy as boggleheads. And that really concerned me. What do you think about all these?
Well, I will first address that exact point, and then I'm going to tell you some interesting things that I found, because I had some guys with me, and we actually we found a lot of interesting things on this person. But anyway, I say, like, for example, yes, I own individual stocks. I'm not an ETF investor, but I don't tell people that they should not invest in ETFs. I say pretty frequently that the average person who does not have the time should not be investing in individual stocks, because there's a bunch of reasons. So we go into like the tax implications, right? It is more difficult than really people realize. And tax timing is quite difficult to do. Optimizing your taxes is quite difficult to do. And taxes is a big reason as to why some people underperform. And ETFs can be, not are always, but can be a tax efficient way of investing. Then secondly, the psychology aspects of investing. Most people do not have the psychology or the mindset or the patience. There's a bunch of things that we can go down the list. Basically, Howard Marks, or not Howard Marks, let's use Peter Lynch here. Peter Lynch said the best or the most important organ for investing is not the brain, but the guts. Obviously, the guts isn't that. Bravery and psychology, that's still all the brain, but the metaphor is still the same. It's having that ability to really calm down emotions. And ETFs, index funds specifically, they have an ability or they can serve as a way to mitigate those psychological mistakes that investors naturally will suffer from, specifically selling at the wrong time or buying at the wrong time. Okay. And then as far as this individual, here's some interesting things that have been found, I guess you could say. So there, he has several profiles on Seeking Alpha, on other websites. There was another website, if I remember off the top of my head, I'll tell you. But the profile is the same thing. He claims he has 800 credit hours of university studies. Okay, so let me calculate that live for everyone to understand. So 800 credit hours, each class is about 3 credit hours. So if we divide 800 by 3, we end up with, he's taken about 266 classes. And then let's say that each year he's taking 10 classes, right? So we divide that by 10. And then that's 5 classes in the spring, 5 classes in the summer. He's taken 26 years of classes. Okay, let's think about what that. Yeah, no. And that's his claim in his Seeking Alpha profile, and in this other profile where he makes the exact same claims, like how he created a course for university, which, by the way, I called them. I asked, hey, did a man by this name create a course for you guys? And then they said to me, we have no records of this individual ever existing or have any records of this person creating a course for us. And it, I think, Southern Methodist University, which was the claim where he claimed to do this. And then if you go on his website, speaking of grifters, he sells a subscription service on his website where there are no refunds. There are no free trials. It's about, it varies in price from several $100s to several thousands of dollars per consultation. So, yeah, that's the guy. He has several YouTube channels, by the way. You probably knew that. He has 3 that I found.
And he's very racist.
Yes, that is an added one. That's an added.
Yeah. See, I was concerned with the way he speak out of us without any notion of our channels, or individually he thought I was Brazilian.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that. He's, you know, he thought you were Brazilian too. Like this Brazilian guy.
Yeah, this Brazilian guy. Okay. So getting into that, and well, I just wanted to ask you, you are implementing a tool in your channel. Are you charging for that tool, or you're keeping it free for all your subscribers and followers? So
the analysis tool that I use for work, I'm actually going to be putting that on the website, and yes, that will be charged because there's going to be a cost actually to maintain that. So I mean, I can give you some costs, essentially some kind of figures. So I can kind of estimate at the present moment, and this is now, it's about $1,250.
Okay.
In maintenance fees, which, you know, it could rise depending on how many people end up using it. All right, because it actually is by cost, because I'm hosting it on Google Cloud. I can give those details away. And then there's going to be several aspects, because, for example, I think Seeking Alpha, which is a thing I kind of want to end up competing with one day, they charge you for basic information that should be kind of free. They charge you $35 a month.
Yeah.
I'll say here on the channel what I'll be saying. So Seeking Alpha charges about $35 a month for all these useless tools, and they charge you for 10 years worth of financial information. What I'm looking to do, no promises here, is to give up to 30 years for free. I have to see how much it will cost me, but 30 years for free. And then the actual tool part that I did spend a lot of time making, so will be in the range of 15 to 17. But again, you'll have all the information otherwise for free.
Okay.
I have to see, and I probably try to support it with ads to try to mitigate those costs, because again, right now it's about $1,000-something a month, which, you know, is not cheap.
It's not sustained. And here in Latin America, well, 20,000 pesos is not at all cheap. sustain. But you know what I was trying to say yesterday in my reaction video to this guy is that you have work to do when you're editing videos, pumping out certain subjects in your channel. And in your case, your tool is actually work, intellectual property work, as Chris's book and Jay's things. I don't know. I don't think he sells anything, but I don't have a problem with you charging for something that gives value back to the users, and it's something that you're gonna be utilizing to analyze stocks. If that is your thing, as you said, you need to have a special mindset to do it. Yeah. So I don't know why this guy doesn't get it. He talks like he says that he's very American, but he sounds communist for me when he says that nobody should charge for work. So it's I don't know.
Well,
kind of
Alex, we have to remember this man is charging hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on his website. So I don't know what he's talking about. And also, by the way, he does have, I think, 2 books that he did charge for. So it's, I think looking now, my mother-in-law, she's a psychologist, psychiatrist actually, and not in the United States, but in Brazil. But granted, so I kind of gauged her opinion on this, and he is kind of, to summarize it, he's crazy. Yeah. If you read his website, like legitimately crazy. If you read his website, he shows high signs of narcissism, megalomaniac. He seems to be angered by not being noticed. Like, this is a person who's probably very troubled. Okay, so I think you guys have already made enough videos, so I'm not making a video on him. If anything, I was going to make an announcement to go watch your guys' videos. I found what I found, and I think I'm going to talk about it in the live stream, because I think I found out who this person is.
Really?
Oh yeah. And I'll just say, I can't confirm it yet. I'm trying to have other people helping me to confirm his identity, but he, I think, he is this person who has an interesting lawsuit against them. He might be this person for medical school, because it coincides with his claims. He makes a claim that he studied, material sciences and stuff like that. And I found a person who has several published papers in the 1980s of material sciences. And this person went to go to medical school, and they got kicked out for making violent threats to another student. Yeah. So this is, if this is that person, this is a crazy person.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's he would be about 60 or 50 years old, in 50s or 60 years old, which actually matches with his voice. You remember Austin by chance, right?
Yeah.
But he used a software that he uses to actually measure the voice, right, of the person. And it estimates that he's about 50 to 60 years old, which actually coincides with this person's age. So I'm trying my best to confirm, but I cannot find it as of this moment that it is this person.
We can make guesses. Let's see in our lives.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting what you find.
Yeah. Yeah. He's because like he's saying, oh, you guys are grifters for whatever reason, like the super chats, but you go on his website, he's charging like $1,000 and no refunds at all. So
yeah, he says everybody in YouTube is a grifter and a shithead and whatever. So
yeah, exactly.
So let's switch back to Spanish just for a bit. Para nuestra comunidad en latinos, de los que son grifters, que en español serían como estafadores.
Sí, estafadores.
¿Cuáles tú dirías que se alejaran de ellos? ¿Qué canales no recomendarías, además de los que ya conocemos? ¿Hay alguno en especial?
Bueno, ahora, perdón, dije agora, eso es portugués.
Es portugués.
Ahora yo estoy tratando de ver qué canales son, bueno, que tú ya no hablaste, porque yo creo que tú ya cubriste muchos que ya son malísimas. Y entonces, déjame ver, porque hay algunos que tú ya cubriste el canal Dumb Money.
No, 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 no.
Bueno, ellos son tres muchachos que, bueno, hombres, no muchachos, hombres, que yo creo que somos ricos, sí somos ricos, pero ellos están como promocionando una forma de invertir que la mayoría de la gente no deberían ni siquiera tocar, que es una forma de inversión de momentum. Y ellos tienen mucho dinero, claro, vamos a operar de ese asunto, pero creo que eso es verdad. Ellos lo pueden hacer, pero la mayoría de la gente, especialmente la gente que necesita enfocarse en crecer el dinero de su cuenta, no deberían hacer, porque el riesgo es mucho.
Sí.
Ellos tienen muchas formas que yo veo, que ellos dicen, de hacer dinero. Entonces, para ellos, perder 1 millón no es tan mal o tan grave que alguien vea, ay, ellos pusieron $1 millón en esta inversión, yo voy a poner todo mi dinero ahí porque ellos son, no sé, ellos sepan, ellos saben más que yo y ya, y tú pierdes todo. Y tú solamente tuviste como $10,000, no sé, $100,000
Y
en
se
algunos
fueron.
casos, y se fueron, sí, ya. Pero ellos no son tan malos como otros porque ellos, que yo vi, ellos no cubren por nada de eso. Ah, pero yo lo estoy diciendo porque tú ya cubriste lo más grande, lo más
Sí.
grave, como
Sobre todo para
financial.
que no sigan el método del momento, ¿no? Que
Sí,
tú dices que es
sí,
bastante...
eso es cuando tú
Sí,
ya tienes mucho dinero y tú quieres jugar. ¿Ok?
sí, dejas al lado una parte de tu dinero para jugar y lo
Exacto.
haces, como yo con Baba.
Sí, sí. Sí, sí, sí.
El BIA.
Sí, el VI.
So, Fabio, are you part of the Bolo-head squad? Well, not, you'll be like the value head squad because you're more a value investor.
I think with Jack Bogle, no, because I say I agree with Jack Bogle's message. His message was right. The average person should not do the buying individual stocks. Like when we look at money managers, if I was like, let's say if I worked at a hedge fund, not a hedge fund, a mutual fund. Let's say a mutual fund.
Okay.
I am going to be forced to buy individual securities, and I'm forced to buy a certain weighting of them, right? I can't have too much in a single weighting. So already what the index funds do or allow them to do is already better than the mutual fund. The mutual fund's already in a disadvantage. And so they're always going to kind of underperform in that matter. And if you force me to buy 500 stocks, if you put a gun to my head and say, you have to buy 500 stocks, I can't do a good job. It's impossible.
No.
So, and the design of index funds to just own the market is in and of itself the most passive form of investing. And again, the passiveness of it allows the average investor to own these assets and invest in it over time so that they are excluding out the volatility that otherwise would be experienced. And then they're avoiding the mistakes that could be caused by the psychology of it, which is perhaps the most dangerous aspect. So I say with Jack Bogle, I am a Boglehead because I do think that works for the average person. And Buffett says it. Like, for example, Buffett doesn't own any ETFs, but what does he say always that the average investor should do? Consistently. He's been saying it forever.
Yeah. Don't lose money.
Don't lose money. No, but he says buy index funds.
Oh, yeah. That's
But he doesn't buy index funds, right? I don't buy index funds, but I tell others to buy index funds, just simply because of all the other things that if you add them all together, the probabilities that you succeed or always succeed are going to be very, very, very low. Yeah. And it's natural. And anyways, the average person should focus on making more money in their job, create a craft, get better at your job, make more money, and then passively invest. So index funds allow you to do that because let's say you're just working, right? If you make more money and you're just putting it aside over time, you're not even thinking about it, you can just focus on your job that produces all the income. That's going to be for most people, that is going to be the most successful strategy.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. So I just want to say that I'm thankful that you've been here, and I want you to give a message for your community, my community, and the Latinos in English. If you
Bueno, lo voy a hacer en los dos.
Or both. That's
Okay,
better.
so para la comunidad latino, yo digo que a veces, yo sé que la información, no hay tanta información como en inglés, es obvio, pero digo que tienen que tenerse mucho cuidado con toda la información que hay ahí, porque hay muchos que te quieren estafar. Por ejemplo, yo me recuerdo en Venezuela, mis padres me dijeron esos cuentos de bancos que tuvieron nombres de bancos de estadounidenses, porque tener un nombre estadounidense vino con una credibilidad,
Ujú.
que tú eres seguro, tú sabes todo eso. Y estafaron a mucha gente en esas cosas. Yo creo que en Latinoamérica en general hay mucho de
Sí.
esas cosas de estafar a la gente. Entonces, ahora, en este momento en nuestro mundo, los latinos en Latinoamérica tienen que tener mucho cuidado y hay mucha gente que quieren estafarte. Yo digo esto, si alguien quiere cubrirte, y yo no dije esto en otra cosa, yo estoy haciendo un curso que va a
Ajá.
ser pagar que tú quieres,
Sí.
porque la información, voy a dar la información y si tú no puedes pagar, no pagas. Mm, Haces el curso y ya. Y yo lo voy a poner, yo creo que lo voy a poner en YouTube y lo voy a tener como con preguntas y todo eso. Eso me va a tardar un poco para hacerlo, pero
Sí.
igualmente. Am, hay mucha gente que te quieren vender estos cursos
Ujú.
y estos cursos de financia, de crecer tu dinero, pero yo creo que el primer lección de todo es
Ujú.
no gastar tu dinero en cosas que son estafas.
Sí.
Y la información, yo te digo, yo creo que una persona puede aprender todo que necesita
Ujú.
gratis
Sí.
de los mercados, porque vivimos en una época donde el Internet nos dio los recursos para aprender casi todo.
Ujú.
Entonces, eso es como un gran punto que quiero dar. No, por favor, por favor, por favor, no, ojalá que no, ustedes no dan como miles de dólares a una
Sí.
persona para decirte cómo leer un balance sheet.
Sí, no, 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 no. Hay libros mucho más baratos que puedes leer o cursos
Libros,
en
pero hay
YouTube. Sí, hay
videos.
videos, hay... Yo soy muy de leer, a mí me gusta mucho leer, entonces me ayudó, los libros me han ayudado bastante, ¿no? Pero
Claro.
también hay videos. Cuando yo empecé, igual como tú me dices de tu esposa, yo también las noches consumía mucho material y llegué a ver a los scammers, pero gracias a Dios no me gustó su forma de que no había base de nada. Simplemente
Sí,
hablaban de, se va a ir a la luna, ¿no?
sí,
NIO,
sí.
$100, pero ¿por
Ay,
qué?
Dios mío.
Pero, ¿sabes?
Sí,
Stock mode. ¿Pero por
sí,
qué? Pues
está
no
mal.
sabemos. Y ahora,
Sí.
a ver, danos tu mensaje en inglés. Para...
So in English, remember, it's going to be a little more coherent than it was in Spanish.
Now you were great.
Uh, So in English, I'd say this very similar message to the one in Spanish. I'd say that you please be careful with people who want to extract your resources without actually providing any value. So, for example, a book, right? A book can go a long way, but be careful what the book is talking about.
Mhm.
Actually, that's easier said than done, but I said in one of the live streams that, something like even like Robert Kiyosaki, he's kind of a questionable figure, but his book actually does help some people kind of conceptualize the concepts. I'd say buy Strongman's book because he's a nicer person and actually not trying to scam you. And you're going to get basically the same message, if not a little bit better, not a lot better than something like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But some of these things, sometimes we have to read them to understand it. I don't know why it's about the human brain. It's easy for me to say to you, hey, you, I'm talking to you and who's watching this video, buy assets, don't buy liabilities, right? Easy to say, but sometimes depending on the person, everyone's different. Some people have to read it. And when they read it, they wake up. And then I
Yeah.
had this moment with my ex co-host, Austin, who he's working really hard at his accounting job. I took him and he inspired me to do the YouTube channel actually, because he was following Jeremy, etc. When I grabbed him, I kid you not, he can talk about it. There was a moment in time when it was several months when I was already talking to him and explaining certain things to him, he woke up. All of a sudden, it just, boom, just woke up. He started to really see these guys for what they were. He started to be more careful with his money. He started to understand that, okay, this cash that I would otherwise give to this person who's trying to sell me this dream, I need to keep that and invest it. So like, for example, the first lesson of finance, right? And that will be probably in the pay what you want course, would be don't give people money for a finance course. Like that. Yeah, it's silly like that. But the other thing, or the other message, is you have to be honest with yourself. And I think that's the more profound lesson. And it's a lesson I thank goodness I learned younger. And it's true with almost everything in life, but investing is very true too. For example, if I see something that I don't understand, the only one I'm going to hurt if I lie to myself and say I understand it is me. You know, if I tell you, if I come to you and we have a conversation, I say, oh, I'm going to be investing in this company because this, and this. And if I'm pretending that I understand what this business does, what the risks are, am I hurting you? No, I'm hurting me. Yeah. So that's a skill I think everyone needs to master, is honesty, not with others. You should be honest with others, but very important to be honest with yourself. And that saves you from making a lot of mistakes in your life. And again, I thank goodness I learned it younger rather than older.
Yeah, you're very mature for your age. You're 24, right?
Yes, yeah. 24 now. I'm gonna turn 25 actually pretty soon. So
enjoy your 20s.
Yeah, it's going quick. But no, that's pretty much the crux of it. I think that's actually the biggest one. I always tell everyone that is honesty with yourself is perhaps the most important lesson in life. Yeah. So thank you for being here, Fabio. You're amazing. Thank you. You too. You are very intelligent. You are analytical. You express your ideas very clearly, and so I love talking to you all the time. Also, you know way more about analyzing stocks and doing research about them. So I always ask you, and we coincide with certain companies we buy, like Facebook. Oh, yeah. I got it. Facebook. 219. That's my average cost. And yeah, you have it at what, 250? No. So I've owned Facebook for a while now. So my average cost is lower, but the more recently, yeah, I've been buying 215 below. It's on the portfolio that updates. I've already updated it because should I talk about it here? I don't know. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about it. So I said on the live stream, the last live stream that we all did together, that I had sold my Gazprom. I spoke about it, and then I sold it last Wednesday. So I actually put in some orders to buy Gazprom again. I don't like to be a trader. But what are you seeing in that company? Is Russia? I don't know. The same things I saw before, except now I can buy back the shares, have a lower percentage allocation with all the shares, and I even have more, I think, now than before, because it collapsed another 50%. Yeah. Okay. So I'm basically just taking a small percentage part of the portfolio, putting into Gazprom for the same reasons, assuming that things will one day in the future get better, and I won't add any more to it. I just bought one lump sum. Okay. I will only add, I say this because I'm making a video coming out, and I'm actually mentioning first on your channel here. If it goes down substantially more from here, but it's not something like the video is actually focused entirely on the risks, because that's actually way more important than the potential upside. Of course, if we have this conversation again in like 2 years from now, and Gazprom's $6 or $10, oh yeah, I'm gonna wish I put a lot more money. Yeah. But the whole point of investing and us being human is that we only have the information that we have, and that we have to make decisions on that information, and we have to be honest with ourselves as to how confident we are in something. So if you look at the portfolio, it's sitting at like 1% around there, 2% to 1%. So it goes bankrupt if I lose it all, if the government takes away all my shares. sure, I'll be okay. I'll be sad. I mean, by the way, those percentages I explained, it doesn't include the cash, real estate, or private investments. It's just the stock portfolio, because that's what we're analyzing there. But it's nothing. I'm mitigating the risk. Yes, I will wish I put more if it goes up a lot, but who cares? We can't think like that, right?
No, we don't know the future.
Exactly. And
besides, the added risks right now are big. So.
Oh yeah, no, that again, that's the main focus of it. It's like the risks are tremendous. Like we have, again, like I'm not even going to be surprised if somehow for some reason the government comes in and just takes my shares away. Like that's the most extreme scenario, but I'm not going to be, if it happens, I won't be like, oh wow, I never saw it. I'll be like, all right, I thought that could have happened. Yeah.
As long as you know it and you accept it, then there's not a problem.
Oh yeah. I mean, my opinion is it is less risky than the Chinese VIEs, but
we'll see.
Conversation. Yeah, that's a whole other
we just have to wait and see about if the geopolitical situation changes, and hopefully for the best, then both Russia and China will have success in their companies, and so us as shareholders. Well, I'm not a direct shareholder. I'm an indirect shareholder via a company in, I don't know, Barbados. What's
Cayman Islands?
Cayman Islands, yeah. So let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if it works out, I'll be here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We can make a bet. If I go down to Orlando, I take you up.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm invested in Baba too. Remember, I have a 1% on both Baba and Tencent.
Yeah, I see. Let's see. Yeah, we know the risk, so it is our choice. And basically, in my portfolio is also a very small percentage, so I know where I stand.
Yeah, you won't cry. You won't cry if it goes to zero at all.
No, I won't. So thank you, Fabio. It's a pleasure. I hope to have you more here, as I said to all the bubbleheads, because it's really what I think. You guys are amazing, and as I come to know you better and become your friend, I appreciate every chance I have to speak with you guys.
Oh, no worries. Anytime. You just message me and then I'll come on.
Yeah. And hopefully someday I will come up to your channel to see if you do a live stream and get criticized because you get super chats.
I don't even know if I'll ever do live.
Too,
maybe I do, but we'll see.
I will get it very nervous. I don't know. Let's see. All right, man. See you later, and have a good week.
You too, man. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.